The date is February 10th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and haven't been making videos for the past couple of days. We've had a lot going on. Serenity says hi. That's my daughter. Serenity has got allergies going on right now. But I have come to tell you guys that we had a super big thing happen today. Part of Zach's occupational therapy is that he has issues crossing midline. So basically he has issues doing this, or he has issues making things go from one hand to the other. So the sippy cup, that is his, he has issues passing it from his left hand to his right hand. Usually he'll take it, he'll set it down, and then he'll grab it with his other hand. And that's one of the things that they're working on in his occupational therapy. Today, we actually tried a big boy cup. Not a sippy, just a regular, like 4-ounce drinking cup. And he was able to hold it with both hands. And he was able to drink, for the most part, successfully out of it. So that's super big for us, because usually whenever he tries to drink out of it, he dumps it all the way back, or he just can't understand how to pull the fluid from the cup and drink it like we do. Usually he gets really choked up on it. So for him to just pick up this cup and use both hands, coordinating them to drink out of a cup, was super big for us. So currently we're on the couch watching Trolls, happy as can be. He's learned that he has duck lips, so this is his new thing. Can you say hi? You're silly. Yesterday we actually had a what I would call perfect day. He had no temper tantrums yesterday. We had no fits, minimal redirection, no anger outburst. He listened. He put his toys up without me asking him. He attempted to put his toys up without me asking him. He still kind of struggles of where things go, but he made the effort, and that's what counts. And I praised him so much, because that's one of the things with Zach, or any child with the issues that Zach has, is that when they do something good on their own, or they do it in general, whether you have to redirect them once, you have to redirect them 10 times, or they just decide to do it on their own. Here, you can have your cup. Here you go. Just like that, he asked for his cup. He used his words, which is really big for us too. He has to use his words, and that's just really big for us, is you have to use your words. But back to what I was saying was, whether you don't have to redirect them, you have to redirect them once, you have to redirect them 10 times. It takes 30 minutes to redirect them. If you have to discipline them and then redirect them, and then they finally do it, you have to praise them so they know that they did good. Because even as adults, we're allowed to have bad days. So if we have a bad day as an adult, we like to be told, hey, you're doing a really good job, or hey, thanks for doing that for me, or hey, I hope you're just doing okay today. And kids are no different. It makes a world of difference to make sure that they are praised, to make sure that they get the confirmation that I did a good thing. And if you have to redirect them X amount of times, if you have to spend 30 minutes redirecting them, if you have to discipline them and then keep redirecting them, as long as you get to the point of what you're trying to get at, it's frustrating. Don't lose your cool, because it's hard to. I have spent hours and hours with Zach on the floor, telling him to pick up and pointing to him one specific car he needed to pick up and put away, because we are firm believers that he picks up after himself, because he's going to have to when he gets older. And he's not going to expect it of anyone else except for himself. And I've spent hours on the floor with him refusing to pick it up. It's caused fits. It's caused him to be angry. It's caused him to, start being violent, and all you can do is just keep going after it in a calm manner. Make sure that you tell them, yes, I understand that you're mad and that you don't want to do this, but the quicker that we do this, the sooner we can go get another toy to pick up. Or if you do this, then we can go get a special snack. Zach is a very typical 2-year-old in the fact that he loves fruit snacks. Fruit snacks are kept in stock around here. I'm pretty sure I need to take out a stock in freaking fruit snacks because he loves them so much. And I'm not saying that you're not going to get upset with your children. I'm not saying that you're not going to, feel overwhelmed. And if you need to take 5, then you take 5. You put your child in a safe place. You ask for help from a friend. I am the worst about asking for help. I have issues asking my best friend for help, who knows how to deal with Zach. I have issues asking my boyfriend for help, and he knows about Zach's issues very, very well. His mother actually has a degree in, I believe it's psychology. So he is very well acclimated to kids like Zach, physical disabilities, mental disabilities, and such. So if you need to take 5, that does not make you a bad parent. You put your kid in a safe spot, you go in the bathroom, you cry it out, or you step right outside the door, get you a couple of breaths of fresh air, get you a cup of ice water and, chug it just to kind of refresh yourself, splash a little water on your face, and come back to this and be like, all right, we took a break. Let's go ahead and try this again. My cat's in my way. She likes to be the center of attention. Doing such things does not make you a bad parent, and it's taken me this long to realize this because I still occasionally just wear myself out because I don't want to ask for help, or if I keep on Zach about, do this, please do this, we need to do this. When we're done with this, we can do this instead. If we pick up this, we can go color, or we can go watch a movie, or we can get a special snack, or whatever the case may be for that day, depending on what Zach likes. Because yet again, Zach changes from day to day. It just, don't let it wear yourself down, because this is your life for as long as your child lives. And, as much as kids want to, leave the coop at 18, there is a very real possibility that Zach may have to, stay with me much longer than 18. And I knew that as soon as we started getting diagnosis, and if we can't start getting him to where he needs to be, then it's a very real possibility that Zach just may have to live out his life, with us, or in an assisted living, or have a place close to mine and I am his caretaker, whatever the case may be. And that's perfectly fine, because this is my child and I would do anything for him. So even if I'm, 75 years old and my kid needs to go to the store, well, by gosh, I'm going to try and figure out how to get to the dang store. So, not much else to report right now. Oh, we did find out Zach has another sensory issue. Because as I told you guys before, we have a lot of issues with food. Today I was eating cottage cheese as part of my breakfast, and Zach had never seen it, so he thought it was yogurt. So he comes over and he asks for a bite, and I put just a couple, little bits on the end of my spoon, and I put it to his tongue, and instantaneously, as soon as it touched his tongue, the texture made him ill, and, he proceeded to gag. And I made sure to tell him, thank you for trying this. I know it was new, but that's okay that you don't like this, because that's another thing. You need to make sure that you tell them that it's okay if you don't like this, but thank you for trying it, because you don't want them to think that they have to put everything that's in front of them. And some of you are going to say, oh, well, you're spoiling him because you're not making him eat whatever your guys are eating. No. I have to change certain meals that Zach eats, because if I don't, he doesn't eat. So I'd much rather take the extra 5, 10, 15 minutes to make him something different that I know he is going to eat and make sure that he eats, instead of giving him something that I know that he for sure does not like, and then he skips a meal, because then that makes me a bad parent. And then I know that my kid's going to go to bed hungry. I don't want to go to bed hungry. I'm pretty sure he's falling asleep. Yeah, we're going to sleep. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here and let him nap, because last night was kind of rough for us. He's been having to take some antibiotics. He started to get a little bit of a sinus infection after he had his adenoids removed. So he woke up with a kind of upset stomach last night. He got sick. So it was kind of a rough night, but we got through it. And now he's just kind of catching up on some rest. I'm not going to let him sleep for too long, because we keep a schedule around here. Bedtime is between 8 and 9. Even if he is just laying on the couch watching Animal Planet, or the Deep Blue Planet, or Life, which is about the animals, we make sure that we start winding down. Serenity also has bedtime. She is in bed between 7:45 and 8:30 every night. She loves her schedule. She is very much a schedule-oriented child. And that's another thing I'm going to touch on really quick before I hop off here for this segment, is children like Zach need consistency. They need a routine. They need a schedule. Now, I get it. Not every day you can keep the exact same routine. Some of you guys work. Some of you guys are students in school. Some of you guys, have other children. Some of you guys have multiple special needs children, whether it be a physical disability or a mental disability. And I get that. But as long as you guys can keep some type of consistency or routine to within about an hour of what it was the previous day, then you're going to notice a big difference. So like in the morning, Zach comes and wakes me up about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning if it's not a therapy day. So he gets in my bed and he asks to play his games on my phone. And we have a set time limit for, okay, we can play these educational games, keyword educational, on my phone. Or he likes to watch X amount of time on kids' YouTube on my phone. And I let him watch things that are specific about colors, shapes, numbers, the alphabet, things that are just very educational for him. I just don't let him watch junk. So then we get up and we have breakfast, and he has his meds. His medication. Yes, he is medicated. That is per my request. Don't talk to me about anything else, because you're not going to change my mind. You don't live with Zach. You don't know what Zach's like without it. So we get up, we have breakfast, we have our medicine, and then we sit down and we either start coloring or we start playing with cars. We start working on little motor functions that he works on occupational therapy. But as far as he knows, he's just playing a game at home. And that's fine. Then about noon, we have a light lunch, because he really doesn't like to eat lunch. So either we have a hefty snack, like of fruits or a bagel or yogurt and animal crackers or something along those lines. And then we go down for quiet time for Zach, because sometimes he does not take a nap in the afternoon. This is one of the occasions that he very much is napping. Or we have nap time / quiet time, which is he gets his pillow and his blanket. He gets on the couch with me. I sit here and I work on things that I need to, whether it be talking to his therapist, or working on the vlogs, or making notes about the day, whatever the case may be. And 9 times out of 10, he'll fall asleep. If he is just kind of oversensitized that day, he'll come and crawl up on my chest. And I'll sit here and I'll, kind of sway back and forth, and I'll talk and I'll sing, and the vibration of my voice in his ear puts him to sleep. I'll usually go and lay him back on the other side of the couch. If I can get him to his bed, that's great. But sometimes he just really likes to lay close to me, and he likes to know that mom's right here. Mom's not going anywhere. And then we wake up from nap time. We go back to playing. Usually about that time, from the time that he wakes up from his nap to dinner time, which is dinner time's about 5:30, depending on what I'm cooking. He just kind of goes and does his own thing. I'll close my bathroom. I have the childproof locks on all of the doors, except for his room, which there's nothing in his room that he can hurt himself on, so he is more than welcome to go back there by himself for independence and go access his bedroom and play. Because how my apartment is set up is I have my living room where I'm at now, and then you go down the hallway a little bit to my room, and then you turn, and it has all of the closets and the bathroom, and then his room and his sister's room, because they room share right now, is at the very end. So all the doors that he could possibly get into have child locks on them that he cannot get into, and that's fine, because he needs to know that he can go back there anytime that he wants and go play by himself. So for about the 3-ish hours that he's up from nap time to dinner time, he just goes and does his own thing. He knows that I'm right here. This is my time usually to get the apartment clean, whatever room they're not in. And then we have dinner. We clean up from dinner. He's learned to put his plate on the counter because my kitchen is blocked off because of the sharp objects, the stove, everything like that he could possibly hurt himself on or use as a weapon. The kitchen is blocked off, so he cannot get into it. So he puts his plate on the counter. Then we do a quick wipe off of the hands, depending on how long it takes for him to eat dinner. Usually we'll go into bath time then. He loves baths. That is his thing. That has always been his thing, is baths. He loves them. He loves showers. So we'll get bathed depending on how messy dinner was, depending on how dirty we got during the day. I don't believe in bathing children every day, because then you just ruin down their immune system and they're gonna, not be used to germs. So usually we get a bath about every 2 days, unless we're just absolutely dirty and filthy or we've been sick. Then it's an every night thing. From there, we come in here, we turn on a movie. He can read a book, or I read books with him. We can listen to music. If he doesn't want to watch a movie, he's allowed X amount of minutes on my phone to yet again watch his videos. And then it's bedtime. So bedtime can usually be an issue. Bedtime can usually be an all-out brawl. I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to. That's usually when I get a lot of being hit. That's when we get a lot of screaming done. That's usually when tensions are really high. So, excuse me, I missed a step. He gets medication at dinner time as well, because he eats with it, so it doesn't upset his stomach. He does take the same medication in the evening that he does in the morning. I will not talk about what medication he is on, but he is on one medication a day right now that is prescribed by his doctor for his issues. When it's bedtime, he gets melatonin. We call them strawberry candies, so he doesn't think that it's medicine, and it makes it easier for him to take it because it's just the dissolvable, meltable tablets. So he gets that so he can actually rest. Yet again, I have approved this with his physician. Do not give your child anything until you have talked to their physician about it. Just because I do it with my kids does not mean that you can do it with your kids. I have talked to my son's doctor for hours and hours and hours, and had multiple visits and multiple phone calls and emails back and forth on what I can do for him, what I cannot do for him, and advice. Even though me and him do not get along, he is still a doctor, and he is still my son's physician, and he has to give me correct advice on what to do for my son. I may not always agree with it. I don't agree with some of the things that he has done or how he has approached things. I'll get into that in a different video if I think about it. But always contact your child's physician when you are making a decision to put your child on anything over the counter like melatonin, because they may be too small for it. They may have some type of reaction to it. It may react with any medication that they may be on. The medication my son's on is to help slow his brain down. So that's why I had to ask about the melatonin, because I didn't want him to go into a zombie state or go so deep into a sleep that he didn't function, or that he had more issues with his breathing, or whatever the case may be. I want to make sure I was giving him the right amount of melatonin. So then, like last night, he was asleep before 9 o'clock. Last night was kind of a weird night for us. We had some issues going on in our personal lives, so he could feel that my mom was kind of stressed out. So he woke up about 11 o'clock, stayed up for a little bit, snuggled with mom. Come to find out, it's because his tummy didn't really feel good. He couldn't tell me, "Mommy, there's something wrong with my tummy." He fell asleep about 1:15. And then he got up at 4 in the morning and got in bed with me, which is a daily thing. As soon as he gets up, he comes straight into bed with me. That's always what he's done. And then, you know, we dealt with the tummy issues today. So that wraps up this segment. Yet again, you ever have questions, please comment below. If there's any questions that you have that you want me to make a video about and go more into depth about, if I feel comfortable with it, then absolutely I will. Some of the things in our lives I just don't wish to disclaim, just because I don't feel that everything that has to go on with my son needs to be disclaimed. But for the most part, I'm really open about what's going on. So go ahead and comment. You know, tell your friends, have them subscribe, whatever the case may be. And I think that's the video I'm going to make for today, unless anything else significant happens, but he's asleep. So I think today is going to be a pretty easy day for us. So watch for more updates. Bye, y'all. All right, it is February 10th at 5:23 in the evening. I was getting ready to get Zach his medication, which he's not particularly fond of. And we kind of started being triggered into a fit. So we are going to see if we can see what's going on with Zach. Let me get this flipped around. Depending on what kind of mood he's in, he may become violent. He's very edgy. He's very wringing his hands. He has been nonverbal for about 30 minutes now. And when I say nonverbal, like, I'll ask him, "Zach, do you want pizza for dinner?" "Zach, do you want to come sit with Mom?" "Zach, do you want to color with Mom?" And like everything's upsetting him. Stuff on the floor is upsetting him. Something that's been in the same spot since I've moved in here is upsetting him. So let me get this flipped around and see what we get. Excuse the messy floor. I couldn't switch my camera around while I was still in the other video. But came in here to see what's going on with Zach. And can I have a high five? Can I have a fist bump? I dyed my hair, so my hair tie is all purple. Sorry about that, y'all. Can I have a finger? Okay. So as you can tell, we're nonverbal. He's clasping his hands. So he's kind of shutting himself inward. Do you want to come sit with Mom on the couch? Do you want Mom to pick you up and carry you? Yep, okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, he verbalized to me that he wanted up and to come sit with Mom. So that's what we're doing. Because like when he gets like this, it's like his body forgets how to be a body. Like his legs don't work. He's just very shut down and reserved and closed in. And so usually I have to pick him up and carry him to where we need to go sit. I'm unaware if this is because of his tummy being upset from the antibiotics, or if we've just kind of, if something triggered him, and it could have been the smallest thing. Let me get my daughter up here. She wants a, come on. Okay. So, as you can hear him, he's kind of whining, still not really using words. He did verbalize to me that he wants pizza, which is what I'm making for dinner. I got pizza in the oven right now. So, right now we just kind of, yeah. So right now we just kind of sit and wait this out. And, yes, my snotty-nosed, marker-faced, covered daughter. Yes. So, we're just going to go ahead and wait this out, and maybe his attitude will change when I get the medicine into him. And he actually sees that there is, in fact, pizza being made. He should be able to smell it by now. But with kind of how far he's checked out, he may not be able to recognize the smell. So go ahead and hopping off for this segment. I will give an update after dinner. And let's see how his attitude changes. My boyfriend's actually on his way over, which Zach and my boyfriend have a really good bond with each other. So maybe he can go ahead and get him to kind of come to and figure out what's going on, because he tends to... What are you doing? He kind of tends to open up to him a little bit, and my boyfriend just kind of makes him come back to reality. I don't know if it's a male figure thing, or if he just really trusts him, or what the case is. So I will be giving an update before they go to bed, but after dinner time, so stay tuned.